Hello YouTube family, James Green, Short Series Shenanigans. So today's video we're going to be creating a bit out of high-speed steel that has an ACME thread. Here's an ACME thread gauge, start number 284. These are pretty common. What we need to do is create a number 8 ACME thread. So real small one there, kind of hard to see on camera, but we're 1, 2, 3 from the end. That's a 10. For those of you that are not familiar with, it's actually a 29-degree angle, and you know, we start off, here's the sizes it shows you on the gauge here. This is one of several that I have, and they're pretty handy to have. There's different ones out there. Brown and Sharp makes some that are round. These are pretty common. So we're going to be showing you today, and we're going to be on a recently acquired carbide grinder that we got from All Industrial Tool Supply. It's an import brand, and it actually runs really smooth. One thing I did do whenever we first got it and it was ordered is I went ahead and, because it came with these two blades, or correction, not blades, these two wheels, okay, I went ahead and changed them out. They hadn't even been used. I just went ahead and took them off. I'm going to save them, and we'll use them for other stuff. I know some people like to, you know, put diamond wheels on, and I'm going to get one for here eventually, but these can be used. These tend to degrade rather quickly at times depending on what you're doing. All the tool steel that I have is really high grade, like Momax and stuff, some of the older stuff, and these wheels disintegrate really quick. So what we did was, whenever we got this, we got a really good carbide wheels, or the carbide grinding wheels that I've used before. Really aggressive. This is like a 46, so this would be like for roughing. And then you got a really fine grit that's also a green wheel. And again, I also ordered these from All Industrial. And so we've got it fastened down here. For those of you that have watched my channel for a while, you remember this is where the mini mill used to set, right back here. So it was boxed really well. And matter of fact, I plugged it in and started it up, and those wheels, they were actually balanced. It started real smooth, everything. Haven't had any issues with it. I've been using it a little bit already, and works great. We've got our catch pick trays down here, and it's really smooth. Haven't had any problems. It's got the little dip cup, and with a little pour spout here, and the on-off. I haven't, you know, you can set it up where it'll drip water if you're doing grinding on a heavy item. I usually just have it up top here, full of water, just straight water, and you can switch it from one side to the other. And so we'll just leave it up here on this side. But fastened down, and it's really quiet. It came with, it's nothing too fancy, but it does work. It does the job. So if you want a certain angle, you know, your little protractor on there, it fits on there, and you can set it. Right now it's set for 90 degrees. Now what I actually did with this, and I've since put it up to make sure, so this is kind of with anything, to make sure it is square. And let me grab it real quick, because I definitely want to show you guys this, just so you know it's correct, you know it's straight, you know it's as you want it to be. So I'm going to grab my Z-squares, because I know for a fact my Z-squares, made by Stan Zakowski, fellow YouTuber, are 100% straight. So what I did to make sure, because even though it says 0, and yeah, there's a little bit of an indicator that might show approximate, again, just for me and how I approach things, I like to make sure it's square. Again, everything is unique. Everyone has their own way of doing things. So what I did, or you can do, get you a square. And what I did just to set it is I grabbed my Z square, and I got a couple different ones here. You can use a small one, and I just set it up against here, and I butted it up again. Once this, you know, I've been using this already, but it's square. Butted up against there, loosened it, tightened it down, and that's set. Again, This is approximate, and what we're doing here, you know, grinding tools, it doesn't have to be super exact precise. It's an approximate angle of, you know, your relief rake. And some guys can use, you do them freehand like on a pedestal grinder, and I've done that before on this one behind me. But we are going to go ahead and use this today and show you. These tables do tilt on an angle, and that was another reason you can have the Z-squares handy, is I use them to get them, even though they have a little indicator down here on the bottom that shows your angle on both sides, because you can tilt the tables. You loosen the fasteners on the front and the back, and you tilt it. Now we are going to be doing that, and we're going to be doing a lot of roughing work on this side here, and I'll show you that. But right now we're starting off at 90 degrees, square, flat. So what we're going to be doing, because we need to make a have a number 8, and it's already starting off here. It's a small one, but it's a good starting point. 1/4 inch tool bit, and it's already got a small ACME. Actually, it's got a number 10, but we're going to change all that. But so this is going to be made for doing internal threading an ACME. Now this is for a friend of mine. He asked me, hey, can you do me a favor? He needed a thread gauge. Matter of fact, a fellow YouTuber named Aaron Garney. And so he asked me, he's like, hey, have you got a thread gauge? I had one. What size? And you know, the conversation kind of went into, I was like, hey, well, I got to, you know, I wanted to show my my grinder here, so I'm going to go ahead and grind up one for him. It's going to fit inside his tool holder where he has to internally thread, and it's, I believe it's inside 1-inch diameter stuff. And I'm going to leave this long to where if he needs to shorten it down. And this is another use for using your small toolmaker's clamps. You know, hold it down. So this is going to be our holding tool. We've clamped it down really, really good, and there we go. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up, and we're going to get started. We're going to square everything up first, and we're just going to get with it. Because you can have the rotation either clockwise or counterclockwise. We need to go back the other way. There we go. All right. This already has a bit of a relief rate. We're going to slowly work into it and get our angle. We got to come back because this actually has to be wider than what it is. Make sure, because get more of a holding surface, because it was holding like this and now it's clamped a little bit flatter. There we go. And this is where you use the gauge to just come in here and get the size that you need. So we're working for a number 8. Let me go ahead and zoom you guys in here a little bit so you can see more of what I got going on. I'll try to get you a good angle. this side to get this other side. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to rotate it. Next, and I'm going to remove some of this on the back here for the rake. You can see we're slowly getting it there. Because this is going to be inside, so we need to have a lot of relief here on the bottom. Now we're going to start to work on the side again, now that we've got the bottom relief clear. Keeping our gauge handy here. We'll do an 8. Back out just a little bit. Matter of fact, so you guys can try to see what I'm doing, I'm going to move the camera over here a little bit. Alright. Alright. So because we're pretty close right now, we're on a number 8. You know, we're wide right now. We're probably at, well, we've got to come in and cut close to the edges. leaving next to it there. Now I'm going to come in from the side and I'm going to square up the end of this. I don't know if you guys can, I'll try not to get my head in the way here. Okay. 8. Alright. We're nice and wide, which right now we're about a 6 or 5. But now we just got to bring the edges back. This is where having this light really helps. Okay. What I'll do is I'll get the width set first, and then we'll actually go down to depth, which, you know, this is your depth here, that, you know, you look up in your machinery's handbook, and again, you cut it according to whatever you need. But I'm going to leave this a little long, so if he needs to shorten it up, he can. That way it's already done for him. This is where it would be handy. Yeah, this isn't the best setup. If you could be on a pedestal, I could step around the back side, which, you know, you can do that. We'll slide around back here so you guys can see. No. And we're going to grind this other side from the back. Got to make sure you guys can see. Come up here with our gauge and we check it. Back a little more. And it's that fine balance of back and forth and back and forth. A little relief from the back here. What I've always done is I leave them a little long. So that way whenever he gets it, he can figure out his depth that he needs and he can shorten it from the end and grind it in. Shorten it just a hair. Almost. It's like right there. All right. I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but there it is. Okay. Now, I purposely am leaving this a little long on the end here. And if he needs to shorten it up in his boring bar tool holder, he can do it from the back. So, very handy tool to have. Demonstrated how, again, you can actually do what I did. You saw I was doing a lot of freehand stuff. If you need an exact angle, you can go in and set your angle with your protractor on your table over here, and you know, 5 degree and 10 degree. You know, a lot of stuff on grinding this stuff is I have seen and done enough of, and they're over here. I mean, I've actually been grinding out some tool bits here, sharpening them up. You know, a lot of this, as long as you have your general, you know, there's lots of literature out there that shows you what the angles need to be, and you can actually freehand it on a bench grinder, a pedestal grinder, stuff like this. It just makes it so much easier. That way you set it and forget it, or if I need it flat, I can put it on the side of the wheel and straight in, you know, walk around. Ideally, it would be great to have this on a pedestal, but you guys know how very limited on room I am. So there we go. Try to make sure that you can still hear it spinning down. So I left it long on the end, which is fine. And we'll take it out of the holder here. And if he needs to, he can shorten it up. But this is some very old, you know, Rex hex material. I got a lot of this. Even the short pieces like this. This is the stuff you use for your internal threading bars, boring bars, stuff like that. This one, he actually needs one for ACME, and he can cut it. But I figured I'd help him out ahead of time, so that way whenever he gets this. And we're right on number 8. So there you go. Showed how to use the ACME thread pitch gauge. These are very handy to have. They go from number 1, which is the largest, all the way up to number 10 ACME. And you can pick these up a lot of different places. You know, they're pretty common. So there you go. We've created a number 8 ACME, which is really, really, really small, on camera for you guys. I don't know if I've showed it before, but I mean, there's lots of, you know, examples of, you know, chip breakers, which, you know, to move the camera here, because the light I see behind me is washing everything out. There we go. It'll work a little better if I turn it this way. So, different examples of grinding tool bits and stuff. You can see I've got a whole pile of them over here that I've been working on. So there you go. Thanks again to All Industrial Tool Supply for supplying this awesome carbide grinder. Works great because you can take, you can pick up old tools like this, some old school Kennametal stuff, and I have been creating a boatload of tooling. A lot of the, you know, Adam Booth has demonstrated this on his channel several times, that has the chip breaker in it on the side. You get the lead angle in there. This one was actually already in a pile of stuff that I acquired recently, but there's different ones, you know. This is one I've been working on and making, You know, just the relief angle. Got some old Super Momax. It's good stuff. This is the stuff that you know, back in the day, it's Cleveland, USA. This, you know, it's Super Momax Cobalt. So I've been making a lot of tooling, so that way it's already ready, good to go. I've been creating some radius tooling, threading tooling, single point. So the high-speed steel stuff works great if you're working in you know, soft materials, soft steels, aluminum, brass, stuff like that. And you know, there's some examples of your relief angles and everything. Now that's when it goes into, if you want to get everything set just like it's supposed to be in your proper angles and hold, that's when it comes in handy to be able to adjust your table. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you to All Industrial Tool Supply for being the new channel sponsor. You guys, they're awesome. www.allindustrial.com. Go look at the left hand side of the page where it says current sales flyers. They've got the master catalog in PDF format. You can download that as well as the other flyers that they have on there. Give them a call. You can also order the master catalog, and I know for a fact all those pages in the master catalog do match a PDF page for page. It's great stuff. Small US based company out in Huntington Beach, California. Go look them up, and link in the description box down at the bottom. And if you guys interested in a grinder like this, they have them. They also have threads. You know, this happens to be a Starrett, but they have all the great stuff in there. Look it up. And you know, you can even get you some steel if you want, tool steel. They have it, bits, things like that. And you know, go look them up. They've got a lot of neat stuff. So there you go. I hope you guys, again, there's a bunch of stuff out there. Everybody kind of does it different, but I figured, hey, let me go ahead and show you how I grind tool bits. Everybody has their own method of the madness. And as long as at the end of the day you get the tool made the way that it'll work for you, that's what works. There you go. So Aaron Gurney, this stuff will be headed out to you. And so there you go. He's got a YouTube channel as well, and you can go look him up. And I believe it's ASG Fabrication or something, but link in the description box down below. Go check his channel out. And so there you go, an example how to use a 29 degree angle, which is what it is, for cutting and creating ACME to single point ACME thread internal. That's what that's going to be for. Thanks for watching. Like I always say at the end of every video, and I truly do mean it, take care of yourself and take care of your family, because remember, at the end of the day, you and your family is all you got. Until next time, you guys be safe. Get out in the shop and find something to grind on. You know, make you some tool bits. This stuff is fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.